Yehovah Eloheinu Svaot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema, listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Judges chapter 8. But the men of Ephraim complained to Gideon, "Why didn't you call on us when you went to fight Midian? Why did you treat us this way?" They were sharp in their criticism. He answered by saying to them, "How can what I have done be compared with what you have done? Aren't the grapes of Ephraim leaves on the vine better than the ones of Eliezer harvests? God handed over to you Midian's chiefs, Oreb and Zeev. What could I do that matched what you did?" By saying that, he appeased their anger at him. By now, Gideon and his 300 men had come to the Yarden and crossed over. They were exhausted, but were still pursuing the enemy. In Sukkot, he asked the people there, "Please give us some loaves of bread to the men following me, because they are exhausted, and I'm pursuing Zebah and Zalmunna, the kings of Midian." But the chiefs of Sukkot said, "You haven't captured Zebah or Zalmunna yet, so why should we give bread to your army?" Gideon said, "If that's your answer, then after Yehovah has put Zebah and Zalmunna in my hands, I will tear your flesh apart with desert thorns and thistles." From there he went up to Penuel and made the same request, and the people of Penuel gave the same answer as those of Sukkot. So he answered the people of Penuel similarly, "When I return safe and sound, I will break down this tower." Now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor with their army, about 15,000 men, all that remained of the entire army of the people from the east, since 120,000 arm-bearing soldiers had fallen. Gideon went up, using the route of the nomads east of Novach and Yogbihah, and struck down the army when they thought they were safe. Zebah and Zalmunna fled, but Gideon pursued them. Thus he captured the 2 kings of Midian and Zebah and Zalmunna, and routed their whole army in panic. When Gideon, the son of Joash, returned from the battle by way of the Heres Pass, he captured a young man from Sukkot and asked him about the chiefs and leaders of Sukkot. He wrote down for him the names of 77 of them. Then he came to the people of Sukkot and said, "You insulted me when you said you haven't captured Zebah and Zalmunna yet. So why should we give bread to your exhausted men? Well, here are Zebah and Zalmunna." And he took the leaders of the city and desert thorns and thistles and used them to teach the people of Sukkot a lesson. He also broke down the tower of Penuel and put the men of the city to death. Then he said to Zebah and Zalmunna, "Tell me about your men you killed at Tavor." They answered, "They look like you, like a king's son." Gideon replied, "They were my brothers, my mother's sons. As surely as Yehovah is alive, I swear that if you had spared them, I would not kill you." Then he ordered his oldest son, Yeter, "Get up and kill them." But the boy didn't draw his sword, yet being still a boy, he was afraid. Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, "You do it. You kill us. Let a grown man do what it takes a grown man's strength." So Gideon got up and killed Zebah and Zalmunna. Then he took the ornamental crescents from around their camels' necks. The men of Israel said to Gideon, "Rule over us, you, your son, and your grandson, because you saved us from the power of Midian." Gideon replied, "Neither I nor my son will rule over you. Yehovah will rule over you." Then he added, "But I have this request to make of you, that each of you would give me the earrings from the booty you have taken." For the enemy soldiers had worn gold earrings, like all the other tribes descended from Yishmael. They replied, "We're glad to give them to you." They spread out a robe, and each man threw in his earrings from his booty. The gold earrings he requested weighed more than 42 pounds. This doesn't include the crescents, pendants, purple cloth worn by the kings of Midian, and the chains around their camels' necks. Out of these things, Gideon made a ritual vest, which he located in his city, Ophrah. But all Israel turned it into an idol there, and it thus became a snare to Gideon and his family. This is how Midian was defeated by Israel. So they were ceased to be a threat. The land had 40 years of rest during the lifetime of Gideon. Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, returned to the home and stayed there. Gideon became the father of 70 sons because he had many wives. He also had a concubine in Shechem, and she too bore him a son, whom he called Abimelech. Gideon, son of Joash, died in a ripe old age, was buried in the tomb of his father Joash in Ophrah of the Abiezer. But as soon as Gideon was dead, the people of Israel again went astray after the Baalim and made Baal Brit their god. They forgot Yehovah their God, who had saved them from the power of all their enemies on every side, and they showed no kindness toward the family of Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, to repay them from all the good that he had done for Israel. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this interesting 8th chapter of Judges? We can aim to be used by Yehovah. Press on toward the goal Yah has set for you. Help those who work for and serve Yehovah. Humble yourself before Yehovah. Break down any idols in your life. Fear Yehovah alone. Serve Yehovah, having him rule over you. Give to those who work and serve Yehovah. Keep Yehovah as Elohim alone. Aim to become a father to as many children as Yehovah will bless you with. Aim to live as long as Yehovah will allow you to live. Remember Yehovah for the rest of your time here on earth. Trust in the power of Yehovah to save you from trouble. Show kindness. Repay those who have done good to you. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We'd encourage others to fear, obey, and serve Yehovah wholeheartedly. Bear one another's burdens we can give to others, and show kindness often. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.